Yo, what's going on, everybody? As you can see here, I have a tier list maker right here, and I'm gonna be ranking every single Honkai Star Rail DPS character as of version 2.3. Now, this does include characters who aren't main DPSs but still have some sort of damage built into their kit. For example, of course, Aventurine, right? So, with that out of the way, I'm just gonna start things off with the physical Trailblazers. Straight B tier, not C tier. These are actually B tier. I wouldn't use physical Trailblazer, but I think if you build them properly and you got some insane supports or whatever, you can probably make them work, right? I'm probably gonna be running this stuff, right? Danhong straight C tier. He's a 4-star. He came out back in version 1.0. He's Wind Hunt, you know. There's definitely better classes, better characters, right? You know, Hunt 4-star came out back in version 1.0. Like, pick your poison, man, you know. That's 3 L's right there. Same with Arlen, but Arlen was actually really good before the game came out. If he wasn't nerfed down to the ground, he would probably be up here even now as a version 2.3. But of course, Hoyoverse decided to make him bad. You know, he went from here down to there when the game came out. So Arlen, piece of trash. You know, do not build him no matter what, please. Next up is Herda. I'm actually gonna put her in B. I feel like she's pretty good in pure fiction, but there's definitely better options. I wouldn't personally build her even for pure fiction. If you build her, I think, you know, with most of these characters, right, you can make her work, but I don't know, I wouldn't exactly recommend her, you know. Hook, C tier. I see people gassing up Hook a lot back when the game came out, but, you know, that was back in version 1.0. That was over a year ago. She just, no, you know. She's Fire Destruction, you know, maybe you can, you know, salvage something out of that, you know, you could build her if you really like her, but honestly, man, I don't know, dude. I don't think she's really all that. Sampo B tier, right? Sampo, again, you could probably make him work, but I think there's better options. I'm not too familiar with his kit, but I have a general idea, right? He's a Wind Agility, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's a, I don't know, he's just kind of there in the game, man. Pela, listen, Pela, she's more of a support, right? She can do some damage. I tried to build the DPS Pela and I cannot break more than 30k outside of simulated universe. So, you know, Pela, she's for damage wise, you know, probably D. Yeah, I'd say D, maybe even F. You know, I think Arlen could probably dish out more damage than her. I shouldn't even put her on this tier list, but whatever. Serval B, if you build her properly, you can make her work, but I think there's better options, right? I'm pretty sure Jing Yuan is still just a better version of a Serval. Xing Chui, also B tier, or maybe even C tier. I would say C tier, right? I've only ever seen one person even build Xing Chui. You know why? Oh, why would you build her when you have, you know, characters who, you know, you got some pretty good DPSs, right? Xing Chui you could probably build for fun, but if you're going for meta, then there's a skip right here. Sushang, another B tier unit. I don't know why the best units are being saved for last, but Sushang here is another B tier unit. Again, like I said, you could make her work. I'm not gonna say the same spiel with every character here. It's just all the characters that are coming up first are like the same tier. I don't know why, but yeah, Sushang, bro. Listen, again, you could make her work, maybe. I'm pretty sure Sushang specializes in break effect. So if you had, you know, if you ran Firefly's team like Renmei, Harmony, Trailblazer, and Gallagher, maybe she could be up here. But I don't know, man. I don't think she can make her way up into S. You know, she is still Hunt after all. Next up is Himiko, another B tier unit. You know what, I'm just gonna put the B tier units I recognize immediately here. So, Clara C, okay, Clara, straight C, you know. And again, let me just say this up front. I should have said this at the start of the video. This is just my personal opinions on the characters. There's damage in their kits. There's also taking into consideration just a little bit fun factor, but not too much, you know. You know, I would highly recommend looking at multiple different people's tier lists for DPSs instead of just sticking with one as what's fact. But anyways, yeah, I mean, this is all opinion right here. Yanqing D, I think he's actually a piece of trash. Sealy used to be the best DPS when the game launched, but that was when the game launched. So now she's down in the B tier on the same level as Su Shang, which is kind of nuts. Again, if you're some sweaty gamer in China, you could probably hit for millions with her, but that's probably with E6 S5 for every character on that team. It's in order to make your hit as hard as some of the newer DPSs requires way too much investment, and overall it's just not worth it. Jingyuan, I'd say also B tier. Again, there's way too many B tier units. Lucas C tier. A Blade, finally first A tier unit. Crazy, first A tier unit right here. Blade's actually kind of tough. I'm not gonna lie. If you build him, he can hit pretty hard. He works similarly with Jing Liu with the whole HP drain. So if you want to run like a Venturine with him, then be out of luck. But if you pair Blade with like, I don't know, Luocha, maybe or Bailu, I don't know, any healer, Huo, right? You could definitely get him working, you could get him popping. I would say definitely A tier. Almost S, but not there. Not there. I'm pretty sure he's a Shukshin, so he's not Hunt like Sealy over here. He's not entirely cooked. But next up is Kafka, another A tier unit, right? Kafka specializes in damage over time or dot. So, you could run like, for example, Kafka, Black Swan, I don't know, maybe Guinaifen. And if Jiaochu is a support for her, maybe he could work as well. Don't know. I guess that might be a little overkill on the Hility, but you still get what I mean, right? Kafka's still A tier. I don't personally have her, but my brother also plays Honkai Star Rail, and he definitely uses Kafka quite a bit. Not as much now because of the newer DPSs, since she did come out all the way back in version 1.2 with Blade, but still, if you use Kafka, she can work. Trust. Okay, trust. Imbibitor Lune. Wait, am I missing anybody? No. Imbibitor Lune? Very close to S, okay. Yeah, he's damn close to S tier, okay? For the people who like skip all the way to the end of the video, they're not gonna have that context. So, if you made it to this point in the video, and someone says why is Mbappe Luna not an S, you can have full permission to clown on them. But he is at the top of A, but almost to S, but not there. I want to save S for the top 2 or 3 DPSs in the game. So Mbappe Luna, almost up there. He might even be up there. Okay. Again, at the very, 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 very top of A tier, almost at S, like just barely reaching S tier. Like his horns are making his way into S tier. That's how close he is to S tier. But again, I want to save S for 2 or 3 units. So for that, he's gonna stay in A. But again, hella good. He's absolutely insane. I'm actually gonna put him all the way up here, right there, just to signify how close he is to S tier. Guinaifen, B tier, kind of useless unless you have Kafka or someone else who specializes in dot, which I think right now is just Kafka. Now Jing Liu, first character that I'll put in S. I have Jing Liu, but I min-maxed the hell out of her, and she hits way too hard. Okay, she hits harder than Chuck-kun. You get what I mean? Type beat, like outside of Divergent Universe. Sometimes she can hit for up to like 500,000, and that's with E0 S1. I've hit 5,000 or 500,000 with her before. No simulated or Divergent Universe buffs or anything like that. Not in Memory of Chaos, just a regular game, okay? Regular Star Rail, like I'm pretty sure I was like farming a Calyx or whatever. Just out of nowhere, she hits for 500,000. Like, but at that time, like the stars themselves aligned for that to happen. But still, the fact that she can hit for that much outside of simulated universe is kind of nuts. Not even with any Eidolons, but she does have her light cone, which is insane. Jing Liu has a talent that gives her like 50% crit rate. So eventually, when she has that talent running, which is pretty much all the time, she ends up with for my build at least, she has 100% crit rate and 250% crit damage. That is kind of nuts, bro. That's kind of crazy. And her attack, my attack on my Jing Liu is over or almost 3,000. Absolutely insane. Okay, Jing Liu, absolute ball. Okay, absolute ball right here. She, oh my god, dude. For a unit that came up all the way back to version 1.4, she should not be hitting this hard. I'm getting way too carried away though. Absolutely insane. Okay, she. Oh my god, dude, it's crazy. But Topaz, the next unit here. We'll take a little break from all the big damage. Topaz, not a lot of people hype her up. I'm just gonna pull for her because I like her. I'd say B tier. I will say though, definitely better than Sealy for sure. And Susheng and Serval and Sampo and all of these units right here. But not A tier though. Just better than the other units here, of course. Sampo I might even put down in C, but Topaz, also came out 1.4 along with Jinglu, and it was really hard picking between these two. Do I want to go for my wife or do I want to go for the best character in the game at the time? And I don't regret picking Jinglu. But yeah, Topaz, she's in the same tier as Sealy here, but still hits way harder than Sealy, which is why I moved her up here in the beta. I think she's so far she's the only character in this tier that I would recommend, or not recommend, but I don't think would be a complete waste. But some of these characters, you can build, maybe get them working a little bit, like Himiko maybe. I have a E1 S1 Himiko, so I was thinking about building her. Next up is Argenti, Argent. Where would I put Armenti? I think he would go in A. Yeah, I'd say A, right? I would say A. Again, big difference between Imbiber Lune and Argent, but I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. I think Armenti can be he can be pretty good in Pure Fiction. Outside of Pure Fiction, I don't see him being hyped up as much, but because of Pure Fiction, he goes right here. Erudition pretty much rules over everything else in Pure Fiction. Next up is Shui. I would say B tier. She's quantum. She focuses on break effect. You could run Firefly's team on her, but you can make the argument that you don't really need to build Shui as a break effect DPS if you already have Firefly. So Firefly kind of power creeps Shui in that sense, right? And they're both destruction, right? So I feel like there's nothing that Shui can do that Firefly can't do as well, if not even better. So yeah, she goes in B tier. Still solid though if you don't have Firefly. You could always go for Shui if you're coping for a break effect DPS and you have like Red May, Harmony Trailblazer ready, like Gallagher Adelons. Next up is Dr. Ratio. When Dr. Ratio first came out, people were saying that he was the best single target DPS in the game. I don't know, man. I don't see it. I literally built him. I built Dr. Ratio. He's a free unit. Now this is no Aloy in Genshin Impact, right? There's a character who, despite in my opinion not being at the top, can still he can still be him sometimes. I would actually say A, right? I would say A for sure. He's not on the same level as like Sushang, that would be doing him dirty, but I would say A tier. Topaz might even be an A. Yeah, I would say A for Topaz. Not on Barber de Lune's level, which is why they're on the opposite ends, but yeah, these two are pretty okay, pretty good. Next up is Misha right here, bro. Do not build Misha at all. Never ever build Misha. The only instance where building Misha is even the slightly okay is if your account is at a state where max difficulty Divergent Universe easy, max stars on Pure Fiction, Apocalyptic Shadow, Memory of Chaos, everything. When you can beat everything in the game and you just want to build another unit for fun, that's when you can go ahead and build Misha. But like, if you're trying to if you're struggling to beat like floor 9 of Memory of Chaos and you need like a DPS, bro, don't even look at him. Okay, this is like Arlen Penacony edition. Okay, no, just no. Next up is Black Swan. That's an A tier. She works pretty well with Kafka. Not much else to say there. Next up. Think about putting Gallagher on this tier. I don't know. Maybe not. Adventure Bean. Here's the thing though. as a preservation unit, as a sustain, right there, you cannot die with a Venturi, no matter what. Unless you're doing Divergent Universe and you're doing like a high difficulty, then makes sense. But like in the regular endgame, you cannot die with this dude. But for damage, okay, for just pure damage and not including the shield, he's like a B tier, bro. He does follow-up attacks, single target, He's like Topaz if she could like also shield your units. But I don't know, dude. I feel like my adventuring could hit harder, but I went heavy on defense. I went heavy on making him a sustain unit as opposed to a sub DPS. But he can do damage. Sometimes I'll see him hit decently well, but I think for damage he's a B tier. But don't be fooling by this. Okay, as a unit overall, he's S tier, easily S tier. Next up is Acheron. That's another S tier right there. I have never seen a character with their ult that can hit as hard as Acheron. My Acheron build is unbelievably. It's half-assed, okay? I have a half-assed Acheron build, okay? I'll admit it. And her ult can almost hit as hard as my Jingliu can. Her ult outside of Simulated Universe or any game content has hit for 400k before. And that's with an incomplete build and S1 Goodnight Sleep Well. E0. Her talent's not even fully leveled up. She's better than Jingliu in my opinion, but I need to get a full build going for her. Next up is Boohill. That's an A tier right there. He's physical hunt, he's like Su Sheng if she were just better and a 5-star. I'm pretty sure he also focuses on break effect, so yeah, A tier. I was gonna pull for him, the voices in my head, the voices almost convinced me, but I was like nah, I skipped him because I don't know, there were characters that I wanted more at the time. Next up is Firefly. Come on. It's not even close. Firefly, Renmei, Harmony Trailblazer, and Gallagher. That's all you need to beat anything in the game. It's actually insane. Like it's stupid, dude. It's actually Firefly can't be real. She actually can't be real. Jade, I don't know anything about her kit. I know she's Quantum Erudition, so my prediction is she's probably gonna be like right there. I'd say A tier. My guess is she'll probably be A tier. But yeah, that's it for my Honkai Star Rail DPS tier list as a version 2.3. Again, these are just my thoughts on which characters are good, which ones are bad. Of course, I'm no mathematician. I'm not a math wizard. I'm not doing meticulous calculations to carefully measure which unit can hit exactly for how much. This is just a tier list that I made based off of personal experience and seeing other character builds for them, right? Again, my recommendation is if there's any DPS here that you're looking to build, like if you're interested in, go ahead and look at multiple tier lists, right? Look at tier lists for other content creators, tier lists on like Bridewin, stuff like that, I look at multiple sources and then get a general feel for how good the character is, If every tier list has a Firefly at the very top of S tier, then chances are she's probably at the very top of S tier. She's probably the best DPS, But yeah, that's just it for this video, Some people are gonna have, hey, listen, there might be someone who unironically has this exact tier list, but just flipped, But yeah, that's it, I have nothing else to say, but yeah, goodbye.